So our next subtopic is equilibrium of parallel force systems. So dito sa next topic or subtopic, so ang additional condition of equilibrium natin ay yung summation of moment. So let us solve our first problem. The beam of negligible weight is supported horizontally by two springs. Okay, so ito yung beam, ito yung spring na dalawa. If the beam is horizontal and the springs are unstretched when the load is removed, determine the angle of tilt of the beam when the load is applied. So, ang hanapin natin yung tilt nitong beam, angle of tilt niya. Okay, so ang simple illustration, so ganito lang. So, basically, hindi nyo pa madodrawing to kung saan yung edge na mas mababa or yung dulo na mas mababa, either dito or dito. Depende doon sa masosolve natin na deformation ng ends. So, kailangan yung solve yung deformation ng spring. So, based dun sa given na spring constant. So, ang tawag dito spring constant or spring rate. So, ang ibig sabihin ng 1 kN per meter, kung ang spring natin ay ito, at nag-apply tayo ng 1 kN, ang magiging deformation niya ay 1 meter. Okay, so hanggang dito yung deformation kapag nag-apply tayo ng 1 kN. So, same lang dun sa mga tension springs. Ito kasi compression. So, kapag tension spring naman, kapag nag-apply ka ng 1 kN, ibig sabihin may stretch siya ng 1 meter. So, yun yung spring constant. Ngayon, para ma-solve yung deformation, so, gagamit tayo ng equation. So, ang equation ng ating spring constant, ito, force over yung deflection. So, kung meron tayong K, yung K sub A at K sub B, so, ang kailangan na lang natin dyan ay yung force. Okay? Kasi ang objective natin dyan, solve yung deformation or yung deflection ng spring. So, gamit yung equation na to, masasolve natin yung deflection na F over yung K. So, ito yung mga isosolve natin. Ngayon, itong pag-tilt ng ating beam, yung horizontal displacement ng edge or yung edge ay hindi na kinukonsider or negligible na siya. So, ang assumption natin dito, kahit mag-tilt dyan, so yung horizontal length or yung distance mula dito hanggang doon ay pareho pa rin. So, kapag meron na tayong deflection, yung delta sub A at delta sub B, so doon tayo magsusolve ng tilt angle or angle of tilt ng beam. So, yung angle of tilt, pwede tayong mag-reference dito sa horizontal line. So, ang required dito ay yung theta. So, masosolve natin yon based dito sa length ng beam na 6 meters tsaka yung difference ng deformation ng spring. And so, gagamit lang tayo dyan ng tangent. So, let us solve first for the force dito sa dalawang spring na to. Let us denote that as F sub A tsaka yung F sub B. Okay, so, bago natin i-solve, syempre, free body diagram. So, ito yung ating free body diagram. Nandyan yung force sa A at yung force sa B. And then yung applied force na ito, 600 Newton per meter. So, kapag pinalitan natin yan ng kanyang equivalent load, yan ay 1/2 yung intensity, 600 multiplied by yung length. So, 1/2, 600 times 3. Yan ay magiging 900 Newton. So, yun na yung ating load. Then yung kanyang location, so from the tip, 2/3 nung length. Kaya 2/3 times 3. So, yan ay 2. And then from that, makapag-solve na tayo ng F sub A at F sub B by simply taking summation of moment. So, if we are solving for force A, so we just simply take summation at point D. So, assuming clockwise positive. So, that is equal to 0. So, F sub A multiplied by yung moment arm is 6. Then next, yung 900 Newton. So, ang moment niya magiging counterclockwise with respect to point D. So, negative 900 times moment arm ay 4. Okay, so 4 yung moment arm niya kasi ito ay 2 meter. Subtract lang natin sa 6. So, equal to 0. So, yung F sub A natin ngayon ay equal to 600 Newton. Next, solving for F sub B. So, again, take summation of forces or summation of moment. So, pwede na kayo mag-moment dito sa point C naman para masolve yung F sub B or summation of forces vertical. So, mag-summation of forces vertical muna tayo. Although, pwede rin moment. So, assuming upward, positive. So, equal to 0. So, F sub B plus yung F sub A, 600. Then, minus 900 Newton. So, your F sub B will be equal to 300 Newton. So, we can now solve for the deformation. Okay, so for D or the deflection, this is delta sub A. So, that is equal to F sub A over K sub A. So, this is equal to F sub A is 600 Newton over K sub A is 1 kilonewton. So, 1 kilonewton per meter. So, ito ay naka-newton, ito kilonewton. So, mag-convert tayo. So, let us convert yung 1 kilonewton. So, our unit for the deformation is, of course, in meter. Okay, so this is equal to 0.6 meter. The next, for the deflection of the spring at point B, that is equal to F sub B over K sub B. So, 300 Newton over 1.5 kilonewton per meter. Then, convert again. So, 1,000 Newton over 1 kilonewton. So, this is equal to 0.2. Then, from that, nakita natin na mas malaki yung deformation dun sa A. So, ito yan. Mas malaki yung deformation ng A. Then, ito yung B. So, we can now solve for theta. So, para masolve yung theta, gagamitin lang natin yung tangent. So, let us use this equation to solve for the unknown theta. So, we can say, therefore, that theta is equal to arctangent of yung deflection ng A minus deflection ng B over yung 6 meters. So, that is equal to arctangent of 0.6 minus 0.2 over 6 meters. This is equal to 3.81 degrees. So, for our next problem, the pad footing is used to support the load of 12,000 pounds. Determine the intensities W1 and W2 of the distributed load acting on the base of the footing for the equilibrium. So, ito yung footing, and then ito yung distributed load natin. Yung kanyang intensity ay W1 tsaka W2. So, kapag meron tayong ganitong figure or load, so automatic magsasolve tayo ng mga equivalent forces nila or equivalent load. Then, kapag siya ay trapezoidal, automatic i-divide din natin siya into rectangular load tsaka yung triangular. So, ito yung division, yung broken line. So, and then from that, sulat natin yung equivalent load nila. So, isa para dun sa rectangular, isa para dun sa triangular. So, let us denote F sub 1 para dun sa triangular and then sa rectangular, F sub 2. So, para masolve yung F sub 2 tsaka F sub 1, i-resolve natin sila in terms of dun sa intensity. Okay, so ito intensity W2. So ang length niyan ay 35. So ang area or yung F sub 2 ay W2 times 35. So pangalawa, yung kanyang location. So kung yan ay rectangular load, automatic gitna. So kung ito ay 35, divide lang natin ng 2. Yun yung kanyang location. And then dito sa triangular load, so 1/2. Kaya may 2 dito. And then yung height, yun lang difference ng dalawang intensity. Actually, yung W1, mula dito hanggang dito, minus yung pangalawang intensity. Ito yun, W1 minus W2. Kaya ang F1 natin ay yung intensity, dito hanggang dito. So, W1 minus W2, multiplied by yung haba, so 35. So, 1/2. Ayun, kaya may 2 dito. So, ang ano dito, yung W1 tsaka W2. Given yung load, at yung kanilang mga locations. Ayan, so may mga location na tayo. So again, gagamitin natin ulit yung dalawang condition ng equilibrium, summation of moment, tsaka yung summation of forces. Pero ano bang unahin dun sa dalawa? Summation of moment or forces? para masolve yung W2 tsaka W1. Pag na-make summation of forces tayo, wala tayong masosolve kundi equations. Pero kapag nag-take summation of moment tayo, may masosolve tayo. Ang question dyan ay saan? Saan ba tayo magmo-moment? So kung gusto nating isolve yung W2, mag-moment lang tayo dun sa F1. So parang yung sa previous problem, so nag-moment tayo dun sa isang point, dun sa F sub A at F sub B, para masolve yung isa. So same lang dito. So magmo-moment tayo dito sa point of application ng F1 para masolve yung W2. So kapag inuna naman natin kasing i-moment dun sa point of application ng F2, meron tayong equation. So equation lang yung masosolve natin. So dito tayo mag-start sa moment sa point of application ng F1. So solving for W2, we take summation of forces or moment at the point of application of F1 equal to 0. So again, assuming clockwise positive. So kung ito yung ating point of moment this time, yung distance mula dito hanggang dun sa point of application. So yun, so masasolve naman natin to by simply subtracting yung 5 tsaka 9 minus yung ito. So itong haba na to, or yung moment arm ng ating 12,000 kg/pounds na force, ay simply 9 plus 5 minus 1/3 ng 35. So yun yun. So 9 plus 5, 14 minus yung 35 over 3. So ito yung ating moment arm sa 12,000 pounds. So clockwise, so positive. And then next, yung ating F2, yung moment arm naman niya with respect dun sa point 1 or sa F1 ay simply yung kalahati, yan ay 35 over 2 minus yung 35 over 3. So kaya naging 35 over 2 minus 35 over 3 dito. Okay, so ito yung again F1 or F2 galing dito. Then from that, nandito na yung ating unknown. So if you will solve W2 from here, we have 137.14. So actually pwede nang sagot ito. So kung gusto naman natin i-solve yung ating sagot dito na 6.58, convert lang natin yung pounds ng kilopounds. Saka yung inches ng feet. Okay, so ang magiging sagot dyan ay 1.646 kilopounds per foot para dun sa W2. Then for W1, we can take summation of forces or summation of moment. Kung magmo-moment tayo, actually kahit saang point na. Kasi meron naman na tayong F2. Then pag summation of forces vertical, masosolve na rin natin yung W1. So either dun sa dalawa, pwedeng gamitin. So let us take summation of forces vertical equal to 0, assuming upward forces positive. So ang upward forces natin dyan ay F1 plus F2. And then minus 12,000 pounds equal to 0. So yung F1, ito. So W1 minus yung W2. So ang gagamitin nating unit para dito sa W2, yun munang naka pounds per inch. Kasi inches to. And then yung ating force ay naka pounds. So minus yung W2, 137.14. And then multiplied by 35 inches over 2. So ito yung ating F1. Then plus F2. So W2 times 35. Yung W2, ito rin ang gagamitin natin. 137.14. 137.14 pounds per inch multiplied by 35 inches minus 12,000 pounds equal to 0. So dito masosolve na natin yung W1. That is equal to 548.57. So pounds per inch. Then convert lang natin sa kilopounds per foot. Siyempre multiply ulit natin ng 12 inch per foot over 1,000 pounds per kilopounds. So ang sagot dyan ay 6.58 kilopounds per foot.